What's good, y'all? Welcome to Keep It Benji. I ain't gonna lie, today we're doing something a little bit different. We're gonna be doing a reaction video. Today's topic is about emotional intelligence, though. Now, I wouldn't say, well, I'm saying emotional intelligence is something that I'm still working on. You know what I mean? I am developing it. I was told one time by this woman that I had a high EQ one point in my life, right? And I had no idea what that meant. She looked at me and said, "You have a high EQ." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" She said, "Emotional intelligence." No, she said EI. She said EI. Yeah, she said EI. I was like, "What does that mean?" Emotional intelligence. So, you know me, I do my little research, you feel me? And I really study on this thing. You know what I mean? I study on what emotional intelligence means. What does it mean to have it? You know what I mean? How do I, um, you know what I mean, help people with it, basically, right? And if you don't know what emotional intelligence is, it's basically just being able to handle your emotions, be able to understand your emotions while also being empathetic and understanding to others. And like me being emotionally intelligent has made me see certain things. You know what I mean? It's made me see people in a certain way. Um, it's helped me see like when somebody's not feeling good. You know what I mean? You can really tell if you have a high EI. You can see certain things, maybe the way they walk, the way they're talking, their distance, you know. But I have a video right now, and the video is called "Is This True?" about some women who claim that they want emotionally intelligent men. Let's watch it.
I'm a pretty emotionally intelligent dude. I've noticed that there's only room for my emotions when they're convenient for the woman that's asking me to be emotionally intelligent. That any emotional labor I do that's not for her convenience or not that something she specifically asked for, that either goes unnoticed or when I'm saying something that's not favorable, the shit gets used against me and it becomes about how she feels about what I said and not about the shit that I said.
Ladies, he making some too much sense. Somebody cry. Somebody cry. Somebody cry.
So what? All I'm saying, because saying that, all right, now we got our own money, we want y'all to be emotionally intelligent. That's a great fucking argument until it becomes a real life situation and you start to deal with an emotionally intelligent nigga and you realize it ain't been enough of them in your life and you don't know what to do with that type of man.
You're not lying. You're not lying. This is fact.
Sweetheart,
This is fact.
my baby, if all you done had is dudes that don't know how to express themselves, don't come sitting in front of me, a nigga that know how to express himself, complaining when I goddamn express myself. You understand what I'm saying?
All right, so I ain't gonna lie, I've been in a situation like that. You know what I mean? What he's saying is basically saying like emotional intelligence is not something that's very common when it comes to men, or we don't really even, a lot of men don't even know what that truly means. You know, a lot of people don't know what that means, but an emotionally intelligent man, it's very rare in today's society. A man is able to express his emotions effectively and not express it in a ball of rage, which is the only emotion that men can show these days. You know what I mean? If you ain't mad, you know what I mean, you ain't angry, then you're not really a man. Emotional intelligent men who's able to actively express themselves, you know what I mean, and be punctual with his emotions. You know what I mean? It's different. And when something's different, it's unknown. And when something's unknown, that's scary. Okay? So an emotionally intelligent man meets a woman who hasn't dealt with an emotionally intelligent man before. You know, when she's getting mad and she getting all rah, you feel me? And you just, all right, so what's the problem? I mean, what can we do to help solve this? What can we do to talk about it? Like, anything you express how you feel as a man. You know what I mean? That's something that isn't normal for them or for her or whoever the situation is. I mean, I've dealt with that. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna get too much into it, but I've been in situationships where I would be able to express myself, what I felt, maybe what I desired out of what the relationship was, you know. basically I was able to express myself, explain how I felt, and be punctual with it. And that type of straightforwardness and um, realness with my emotions, with how I felt, it's different, right? So the woman that I was dealing with, you know what I mean, she had backed off. You know what I mean? So it's like women do want emotionally intelligent men, what they say, but most of them don't know how to deal with that. And most men don't know how to deal with an emotionally intelligent woman. You know what I mean? A woman that's very emotionally intelligent, I mean, she don't get mad and yell at you when she's feeling the way she expresses it to you. That's also scary. You feel me? Because you got a good woman on your hands, and you a man, they don't know what to do with it. You feel me? And it's vice versa. You know, I asked the female at work, um, you know what I mean? Like, I asked her, how would it feel? Or how would you feel if a man was able to be vulnerable to you? You know what I mean? He was able to express his emotions. I asked her, you know what I mean, would that scare you off? Or would that scare women off? I didn't say you. It was more a general question. Would that scare women off? She said, I don't know. Maybe. I don't like answers like that. I don't like answers like that. I like real conversations. But it made me see, like, yeah, that's probably the general thought process when it comes to that. When it comes to emotionally intelligent men, because most men or most women don't see that. You know what I mean? Because and like that masculinity, that toxic masculinity that we live in, you know what I mean, where you have to be this stoic, strong, no non emotion having man, right? That affects both sides, male and female. You know what I mean? A female grows up without that male presence being emotional, you know what I mean, expressing that emotion. So when she grows up, she doesn't want no emotionally intelligent man, or she doesn't know how to deal with it. And a man is growing up in this world saying that you have to be this way, you have to be strong, you can't cry, you can't do this. So when he grows up, he doesn't know anything about emotional intelligence or how to express his emotions or anything. And it's just a scary cycle that we live in, right? But this video right here is like we I've been through this, you know what I mean? So I feel it. All right, we got another short. This short is called The Three Levels of Emotional Intelligence. Which one are you by Bulldog Mindset? Let's watch it.
The three levels of emotional intelligence. Which stage are you in? Stage one, wearing your heart on your sleeve. This is where you express all your emotions. You let people know when you're upset or angry or sad. You are looking for pity. Stage two, zombie mode. You've been hurt before from stage one, so you've decided to cut off your emotions. No one can hurt you because you're numb. Stage three, feel the pain, keep on walking. Here you've opened up again. You are allowing yourself to feel emotions, but they do not influence your actions. You're not wearing your heart on your sleeve. Instead, you process the emotions and continue on with your life, feeling the pleasure, feeling the pain, not letting it affect your actions. Which level are you in? 1, 2, or 3?
All right, so 1, 2, 3 levels of emotional intelligence. Okay, so he said the first stage, which is wearing your heart on your sleeve. You know what I mean? Basically asking for pity. You know what I mean? Expressing everything to everybody. Um, I guess like a manipulation tactic, basically, right? Um, I never been at that stage. I think I skipped that stage and went to 2, which is not say nothing to nobody. That's how I grew up. I didn't say nothing to nobody. But that level 1, I've been through that, you know. And it's crazy because like the level 1 that I dealt with, you know, um, that person didn't really express themselves either, but they was able to express it to me, um, which is a common occurrence for me. You know what I mean? I usually have certain conversations with random people, acquaintances at work, you know what I mean? And we get really in depth and really deep in conversation. And I ain't gonna lie, it's been times that I've cried in conversations with people that I don't even know their last name. You feel me? Just because I was able to be so real and they was giving that real energy back. And I'm a very empathic person, so conversations tend to end up like that when I actually talk to somebody for real, for real. But that level 1 that I dealt with, it was very manipulative. Um, and me being an empathic person, I was sucked into it. You know what I mean? I was at stage level 2 for most of my life. You know what I mean? I knew that I didn't feel right. I knew that my emotions were not leveled, but I was nobody told me how to express them. You know what I mean? So I would honestly write down my feelings into poetry, into stories as a kid. Like I started writing when I was like maybe 6 years old, 7 years old, just stories of pain, hurt, raps, you know what I mean? Just stuff like that. You know what I mean? Because I couldn't really express it to nobody. So expressing it on a piece of paper allowed me to alleviate that stress on me, you know? And he said level 3. Level 3 is where if you've been hurt, but you're putting yourself out there and you're able to express that hurt, but not putting it on anybody. You know what I mean? Not asking for pity, not looking for it. I think I'm developing into that stage. You know what I mean? I'm still trying to figure that out because I've just left number 2 stage. You know what I mean? Not saying nothing to nobody. So moving to level 3 is also difficult. It's very difficult being able to be hurt again. You know what I mean? Most people, you get hurt once and then it's over with. You ain't getting hurt again. You know what I mean? I've been hurt plenty of times. But I'm inching my way to that level 3. You know what I mean? As day by day, you know what I mean? Studying, listening to certain things like this, just staying on that grind, you know what I mean, of mental health. All right, I ain't gonna lie, this podcast right here is one of my favorite podcasts. It's called Honestly Though Podcast. It's the title of the episode is called Can Women Handle an Emotionally Intelligent Man? And all the descriptions will be in the bio, by the way. But Honestly Though Podcast, check them out. They are 3 beautiful, smart, intelligent women who speak that real. All right, so let's get to it.
Right? Like a lot of times as women, when we're in our feelings, it's only what we feel that matters, like nothing else. So, do you think women can handle a man who's emotionally intelligent?
We hear some laughs in the background.
Right, not the commentary.
What's this?
Women
That's
ask
crazy.
for someone who's emotionally intelligent, but once we're dealt with somebody who's emotionally intelligent and that emotionally intelligent man is holding you accountable for the emotion, the immature things that you're doing, then we don't like it. Then it's like you're just being controlling or you're being,
you're too harsh.
Yeah, you
like
need to be
you're
more
not
understanding. You're not giving me grace. But it's like, what grace do we give them if they act just a little bit out of pocket? Meanwhile, like Zena said, we've been given the authority our entire lives to kind of just act a fool, especially if you're pretty. It's been almost fetishized in a way. Like I will be honest, when I was younger, I used to almost think that like me getting upset and me getting like that feisty side was what men wanted. Because I was always getting that from them. They were always like, well, I love it when you mad and stuff like that. So it's like they don't have the grace of doing that. They can't just get mad and be looked at as like, still something that's desirable. You're completely turned off from a man because now he can't control his emotions. He's dangerous. I've heard a lot of women call men dangerous because of their emotion.
Hold on. What she just said about some men saying, oh, I love it when she's mad. You know what I mean? That's crazy. To me, that's wild. I ain't gonna lie. I like a woman who's able to speak her mind, able to, you know what I mean, even like slightly catty at times. You know what I mean? She'll claw at you. You know what I mean? She'll poke at you a little bit. I like that. You know what I mean? But when it comes to being angry, you know what I mean, that's something I can't do that. You know what I mean? Being mad is something different. If you're not able to express your emotions as a human in general, like don't come near me. You feel me? Don't talk to me, please. Whatsoever. Let's get back to it.
Intelligence levels, which is crazy because that's your emotion.
The man's emotion.
Yeah, like they're not emotionally intelligent enough, so they call them dangerous, which I feel like is dangerous in itself to use that verbiage when talking about somebody's emotions.
Yeah,
like we're not even talking about their physicality; we're literally just talking about their emotions. But yeah, I'm gonna say men are more emotionally intelligent. Of course, women as a whole are more emotionally intelligent in some things. Just like everything is a give and a take. But I would say overall, in general, I would say men.
Especially in relationships, I feel like.
That's where I was really.
It's mad. That part where you were like, My memory's trash, as we all know. Right
What
now.
I just keep
The short-term one, but I think it was something along the lines of when you have a man who's emotionally intelligent, it's you're not extending grace, you're too harsh, because you're not. A lot of times we're not used to like someone who's so direct or truthful. Like,
so she just said like dealing with an emotionally intelligent man, that man can come off as harsh and very blunt, forward, and being a man of emotional intelligence, I've realized that about myself. I've dealt with that, or I'm dealing with it. I'm trying to get better at that. It's like you need a little bit of sugar on that shit. You feel me? When you speak, and I didn't give no sugar whatsoever. I'm very blunt when I speak, and that bluntness can come off as what's the word called? Being a dick. So I'm trying to figure out how to be better at that, but also it's like I guess women have to understand that when you're dealing with an emotionally intelligent man, it's going to come off like that. We're able to process our emotions, but we're trying to speak to you in a way that like you can relate to. You know what I mean? But the thing is, men were very logical. You know what I mean? If you're a logical and you're an emotionally intelligent man, it's like you're trying to figure out what's wrong, how can I fix it, and that right there, fixing it is very problematic. But that's how we think. You know what I mean? Especially if you're an emotionally intelligent man, what's wrong? How can we fix it? And that doesn't work in a relationship. You know what I mean? And they said something about grace. Giving grace. I think the grace should be given. To women. I know it's not given to men, and that's just how the world is, unfortunately. But you know what I mean? I think grace should be given. Not too much, but it should be given. You feel me? All right, let's get it.
Not really
You
what
think
you're
he's being
asking
mean?
for.
Yeah.
Because you might be asking for that emotionally intelligent man,
Not
but you
that-
yourself are not.
Not that I thought he was being mean, but I'm so used to always being the one who's more emotionally intelligent based on the men I date.
Right.
Or like sometimes you're on even playing field, right? But this guy is like so much more emotionally intelligent than I am.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm like given all these reasons why I'm acting the way I'm acting, and
none of it matters.
Right.
None of it matters.
Well,
at
you just
all.
chatting at this point. Just stop it.
It's basically, I know. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And then what?
But exactly.
But how do we problem solve?
Yeah.
How do we? That's why I think men are more emotionally mature, is because they're better at problem solving, whereas we just want to express everything.
Experience the emotion, feel it.
Yes, we want you to understand where we're coming from. We want all that instead of actually figuring out how to move past it. A lot of the time, of course,
that's
some
what I'm like,
women
yes and
are.
no, like-
some women.
All right, so what she just said is basically saying like when women express themselves, they want you to understand where they're coming from. You know what I mean? Instead of trying to move past it, trying to figure out a solution for it. And that's the difference between men and women when it comes to emotional intelligence. It's like it's a very give and take situation where it's very hard to have both emotionally intelligent parties in one relationship, where the understanding of the understanding of each other's emotions, you know what I mean, trying to solve that, trying to find a solution is very I would say it's difficult. You know what I mean? It's difficult for both parties. Them just going in circles. Okay. All right, that has been today's episode of Keeping It Benji about do women want emotionally intelligent men? Any comments that you have, you know what I mean, please place them down below. Any hate that you want to bring on, you know what I mean, you can put it in the email. And if you want to get in contact with me, the email will be right there as well. You know what I mean, y'all stay blessed, y'all stay beautiful. Peace. When I'm feeling stressed, what I do, meditate, now I feel refreshed. Remember how I was in the days, nigga, no respect. Had my angel in the cage, boy, I was a mess. Nigga talking out that cap, shout out Mitchell Ness. See the real and the fake, no it never mesh. I see my cousin making moves, I'm like, that's a bet. So I put this money to use, now I'm feeling blessed. And if you ever